Hey, how you doing? I'm Gio. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're doing episode 5 of Pistol. This episode is entitled Sid in not it's entitled Nancy and Sid. I think that's my favorite episode. I see how sometimes things just resonate with you, like pique your interest, right? Just get into your mind. See the Sid and Nancy story. That does it for me. I know it was two very damaged people who died too young, but it's maybe the thing. It's just like, for whatever fucked up reason, there's a bit of romanticism about it, in my mind. In reality, no. It says people had a few good years on Earth and then were really, really fucked towards the end. But in my mind, it's not like that, even though I know it is. Understand? So this is Nancy and Sid. Nancy gets the blame a lot of times for Sid's self-destruction, right? Or for at least speeding it up. And obviously the whole murder thing, of course, added to the end of his life. But would it really have made any difference? Apart from maybe a couple of years. Would it have actually changed the course of his life? I don't know. I think he was one of these guys who's just got to burn out quick. So, also, what do you think about the murder? The Sid murder Nancy story? Because there's, I don't know, there's a lot of opinions about it in it. I don't know. I didn't think he did it deliberately at all. I mean, actual pure accident, like her messing with a knife for him, or something like that, or just try to get her off him. But that would be stabbed her on purpose. But he might have. I mean, actually, again, that's my romanticism of the story in my mind, right? But we could talk about this at the end. For now, it says Pistol, episode 5. Nancy and Sid, I guess this has got to be at the end of the last episode. Sid joined the band, right? They got rid of Glenn Matlock because he didn't fit the image, which he didn't, let's face it. And they brought in Sid, who fit the image but couldn't play worth a shit. But, it works out okay in the end, doesn't it? Episode 5.
The main thing to remember is that Malcolm is a dishonest bastard.
To be fair, he did put me in the band.
To be fair, I got you in the band by playing Malcolm at his own devious game. And now we must ally against him lest we get shafted like Glenn. May he rest in peace. You do realise you will need to learn to play?
Not really. How come yours sticks up like that?
What do you mean, not really? Use lacquer.
No one cares what you sound like, it's what you look like that matters.
Can we stop talking about your hair and talk about Malcolm? He wants to change the title of my song, No Future, to God Save the Queen.
Seems like Malcolm wins, didn't it?
Can you stop talking about your hair?
Can you stop talking about Malcolm and song names and the bass guitar?
Playing, like that.
Something that reminds me of being ill.
Concentrate on the lesson, Jonesy.
Yes, Jonesy. Concentrate.
Vicks Vapor Rub. You wearing Vicks Vapor Rub?
Put it on your chest if you've got a cold. Son?
I haven't got a cold.
Well, I haven't got it on my chest, I've got it in my hair.
Vicks Vapor Rub in his
Thick
hair.
enough to make it stand up.
It's no plinky, plinky, plinky. It's bam, 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 bam. Don't tickle it. Punch it. Oh! Oh, shit! What the fuck? That's my guitar!
Your skull you should be worried about, not your banjo. That was great.
What's wrong with you?
Heaps of stuff's wrong with him. Heaps of stuff's wrong with him. So, just a bit of trivia. Apparently, Steve Jones played all the bass parts on most of the Sex Pistols songs.
Keep playing.
Sounds good, is it? It is. Got the handkerchief.
What are you being sick for?
So, I think the story goes, Nancy wanted our Sex Pistol, right? She wanted our Sex Pistol. She was a groupie from New York. She came to the UK to bug a Sex Pistol. I think Steve Jones had her first. She tried Johnny Rotten, he wasn't interested, and then she moved on to Sid, so Sid was third choice.
So Richard and I, Richard Howe, I mean, of the Voidoids, like previously of the Heartbreakers. Do you know the Heartbreakers? Like where Johnny Thunders used to be in the New York Dolls.
Oh god.
Yeah. Anyway, Sid,
I'm sure she's seen worse, honestly.
have you ever done this before?
Done what before? We haven't done anything yet.
You are a virgin. Hey, do you want to, like, shoot up before...
Jesus, imagine that fucking nut job being your first time.
I have done that before.
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause I thought London was all like flow and speed.
No, my mum gave me a hit for my 14th birthday. Okay. Well,
Oh. Yeah, because she realises what that means, right? His mum gave him a hit for his 14th birthday. She realises what it really means, right?
I will now leave. The song is called No Future.
No, it's not.
Fuck!
Ha!
Lying fuck! He's only gone and called it God Save the Fucking Queen!
I really hate to say this, but you are a fucking genius.
Everyone just shush, please.
You're going to be strung up for treason.
Look, his dad loves it.
Look, it's got my name on it.
Yeah,
Nice.
Let's go round yours.
Nah.
Are you ashamed of us?
no, he's ashamed of his parents.
Then we'll just leave him a record.
Well, I'll show you the contrast between parents here, right? I mean, you seen him, Johnny's parents were very straight-laced, but very supportive. Like, loving it.
Hello?
Very supportive.
Might as well look round.
And then you've got Steve's.
Let's have a butcher's.
Steve's disgrace to our family, really, innit?
What's going on?
Hopefully Sid,
Mr. Jones, I presume.
it's in Nottingham.
We brought you a present.
Who do you think you are?
We brought you a present.
Say thank you.
What's this then? Christmas number 1? Well, shut the door on your way out.
Where do you think you're going? Oi! What are you doing?
What do you think you're doing in my house?
In answer to your question,
See,
we are taking the biscuit.
John gets it. John gets this guy for 40 years immediately. Right? John sees this prick for 40 years. And as a group is giving Steve strength.
Oh, crumbs. Well, thank you for your hospitality. We hope you enjoy our musical offering.
Woo!
Well done, Mr. Rotten. Oh,
Bob Harris, the most influential music.
Yeah, I know who you are. Switchbury Bob. The old grey snipple test.
If you'll excuse me.
Oh, hang on. Why won't you have a song, Bob? Not good enough for the BBC, are we?
Excuse me.
Don't ignore me. It's this you can!
oh. Sid.
Now, Sid,
Sid's mental.
Surprise.
you knew how bad I wanted to be in a band, and it didn't even cross your mind.
What? Of course it didn't. You're too good for the Pistols.
Fuck off!
Our singer is half insane. Our manager's fully insane. He's trying to bring down the government. Our bass player can't play, starts fights for laughs, and as you've rightly pointed out, I'm just an illiterate thief who can barely fucking play. You're better than that. You're so much better than that.
Oh, you silver-tongued Lothario, you.
I'm taking Nancy to my mum.
Do you think I'm stupid? I know what you're doing. That shit will kill you.
Not Malcolm.
It's not Malcolm, was it? Oh, it's Nancy.
I need a connection for heroin.
So, what are you asking him?
It's okay, baby. I know you want to.
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that's why you want to.
Sex addict Jonesy nigga, say nosy.
I don't think it's fair that Nancy can't come to the meetings. She's a part of me now. So technically she's part of the band.
Don't be revolting, Sydney.
Jesus,
You're
Sid.
just jealous because none of you have ever been in love.
Richard Branson.
Like the pickle.
Like the pickle.
The pickle is Branston. A lot of people make that mistake.
In my town, when I was young, used to have Branson's factory. Fucking stunk. In the summer, pickle smell.
God Save the Queen would be the single from the album. Is that doable?
Yeah, of course it is.
Let's go.
Punk rock has become almost a battle cry in British society. For many people, it's a bigger threat to our way of life than Russian communism or hyper.
Our way of life. No, mate. Your way of life. Your way of life.
This idea that the punk rock scene is born of social protest may or may not be true. Until they actually learn how to speak and enunciate the Queen's English, I shall be quite unable to judge the validity of what they are alleged to think.
But you have to judge it, mate. You don't have to judge it. That's the point. It's not for people like you.
What are you going to call it?
No future.
Great name for a first album.
No, it needs to be provocative. Simply destroy.
How about... Never mind the bollocks.
Never mind the bollocks.
It's just someone that hot dog seller down Piccadilly says.
Right. Hot dog seller? No, it can't.
Shut up, Malcolm.
Malcolm Sterbond, shut up.
It's perfect. Never mind the bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols.
Never mind the bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols. One of the most important albums of all time.
She's lovely.
She's a groupie.
She's a pain in the ass. He's wrote a list.
Yeah, that's it.
He's wrote a list of things he likes about her.
What Makes Nancy So Great by Sydney. 1, beautiful. 2, sexy. 3, beautiful figure. 4, great sense of humour.
She's an insane junkie. Sid's besotted with her.
She's going to fuck up everything.
No, yous are fucked.
Could send her back.
Yous are absolutely fucked.
We'll chuck her on a plane with a one-way ticket to New York.
Sid okay?
I don't know. He never calls. He hates me too.
He's in the hospital. On a drip.
Yeah, everyone's got an excuse. The world is so full of bullshit. Why is it so easy to tell when someone hates you and so hard to know if they love you?
Because that's your impression of yourself, what's your own self-esteem telling you.
It's something Sid wrote.
Read it to me.
I think it's private.
I can't face them, girls.
You've got to feel for her, right, Nancy? Like, if you knew her story and stuff, you've got to feel for her. But also, if you were in her company, you'd
What
want to
makes Nancy so great? By
choke her to death.
1. Beautiful. 2. Sexy. 3. Beautiful figure. 4. Great sense of humor. 5. Makes extremely interesting conversation.
That is true. People do say that.
Disney.
Keep reading.
So is that the actual plan? Get her smocked up and take her out of the airport? Why the fuck you gotta leave her like unexpected kind of plane? Not a chance. Not a chance in the world. Come on.
Can't find Nancy.
I haven't seen her. Steve, do you know where Nancy is?
Oh, the boat. God save the Queen. Oh, Jesus.
You're back! Nancy! Nancy!
She never decided to go.
What?
John. Steve pumped her full of drugs, kidnapped her, and stuck her on a plane.
John! Sit. Wait! Fuck up!
Paul, help me! Steve, listen. It was all Malcolm's fault. Steve's only sin was that instead of thinking for himself, he followed Malcolm like a lost sheep.
Where you gone?
Never leave me, Sid.
You won't believe what happens on the boat tonight. Fuck me. Nancy is back. Viv and Malcolm got arrested. Shit, I don't even know if we got a number 1.
You did.
Really?
And they still didn't play you.
Fuck.
Those fuckers.
Oh, kid, my only kid, you look so small.
So that was episode 5. That was Nancy and Sid. So what do we think about the whole Nancy thing, right? Nancy's got a Yoko Ono vibe, right? Nancy's got the destruction of Sid Vicious, right? The beginning of the end was when he met Nancy. And, you know, you can't argue with that because it is actually true. It is actually what happened. But we don't know what would have happened if he never met her. Right? Like, Sid was a damaged person, right? He was. But they all were. And they all survived up to now. Would Sid? Who knows? But apparently, if you listen to Nancy's story, right, and you think about her life, it's sad, right? And you've got this level of sympathy for her. But again, if you're in a room where you want to murder her, apparently she just says bad energy. Do you know anybody who, as soon as they walk in a room, everything darkens, just the mood changes? I know a few people like that, and even if they don't say a word, even if they don't open their mouths, it's just like a dark fucking cloud follows them, and it infects everywhere they go. And suppose that was what it was like with Nancy. And we saw at the start, one of the most poignant things was when she asked him about heroin. And he says, my mum gave it to me when I was 14, and she hugged him, like, because she knows what sort of a childhood he had, right? Just for that statement. Just from that statement, she got it, right? She just, so, yeah. And I guess her way was numbing herself, and I guess she was helping him to numb himself from his past traumas, I guess. Another scene I really liked was when they going to visit Steve Jones's his house, his parental home, and his dad's there, and his dad tries to play the big man, right? Tries to play the big man for the band, and if that happens, Steve goes back to being a little boy, right? You're bigger than this man, you're stronger than this man, but because of the past, this man still got power over you, right? And Johnny Lydon saw him for what he was, a bully. Right, he's a bully. And John got up like that. And bullies are only good when you allow them to be. So John sort of showed the bully that he wouldn't be pushed around. And because John did that, and because Sid was like that, then Steve had he lost his power over Steve. Steve took back control of that guy. Right, and that's the power of a group of like-minded people. You wouldn't say they're friends, would you? Like, they clearly are not friends. But they're a group of like-minded people. And there's power in that, right? And I guess I'm not sure if I'm not sure if in the next episode we'll get to the. I'm sure we'll get to the end of the Pistols, right? The end of the band. They're going to tour to America and things just implode. Right? Everything goes to fuck. And the fire John Lydon in, the Sex Pistols are done. I'm not sure if we'll get to the end of Sid and Nancy. So if you don't know the story, well, you must know the story. Nancy got stabbed to death in a hotel room in New York, Chelsea Hotel. Right. See, when you say stabbed to death, it makes it sound like it was like brutal, right? Nancy had one stab wound in her stomach, and it was shallow. It wasn't as if somebody tried to murder her, right? She just got stabbed, and she bled out really slowly. Sid woke up, went to get his fix of methadone, and he came back, and I think he found her, right? Or did somebody else find her? Or did he get his methadone and come back and crash out? I'm not sure. But because of the state he was in, apparently they had like these pills the night before, and these pills would knock out a fucking elephant. And Sid took a lot. So there's people who say he couldn't have done it physically. He wouldn't have physically been able to do it. But the other problem was he couldn't remember if he did it or not. Right? So you've got a body in a hotel room with a knife, and Sid, a junkie, wastes a fucking space, lying in a bed or whatever. Case closed, right? No further investigation. That's it. He did it. Case closed. I don't know. There's stories about Sid had just played a gig before that, so they had like $3,000 in cash in the hotel room. When the murder happened, when the police came in, the money was gone. So there's a theory that they were in a mess. There had been people in and out, right? There were a party the night before, there was people in and out. There's a theory that they were so fucked up somebody at the party tried to take money. Nancy woke up, tried to stop them. Person stabbed her and left. Nancy crawls to the bathroom because she's still a bit fucked up and dies. That's the theory. The other theory is there was like a suicide pact, right? Nancy didn't want to live anymore, so she kind of encouraged Sid to kill her. I don't believe that. People have said they could see in a fight if she was attacking him and he tried to get her off him because he would always play with knives. And he tried to get her off of him and he accidentally stabbed her. People have said they could see that happening. But, you know, it's one of those things, right? You will never know the answer. Ever. But it's interesting to me. And I guess after that is the death of Sid, right? Sid got his first hit of smack from his mum. And Sid got his last hit of smack from his mum. So it's like a fucking disgusting, tragic circle of life. Right? It was his mum who, apparently, New York had been flooded. I think he'd been in jail. He'd been bailed for the Nazi thing. He was in jail for something else. And he came out and they had a party, like a welcome home party for him. In New York for years, he'd been, well, for a long time, he'd been full of weak heroin. But Sid's mum went out and got him some smack when he came home. And supposedly this was the purest stuff New York has seen for a long time. So they prepared the shot as if it was weak stuff, gave him it, Sid dies. The other conspiracy theory is that Sid's mum knew he was got to jail for murdering a Nazi, right? If he went to trial, he's going to jail. I can't remember is no defence. Right? So his mum thought he was got to jail for murdering a Nazi, and his mum thought he couldn't do it. He wouldn't be able to handle jail. So in her fucked up mind, she thought it was more humane for him to die then. So it was a deliberate overdose by his mother. That sounds a bit far-fetched to me. I don't know. But you can let me know what you think in the comments, please. Like I say, I'm super interested in the whole Sid Nazi thing. The Sex Pistols, yes, but just the Sid and Nazi side, just, again, there's just some, maybe it's the end. Maybe it's because we don't know. And there's these questions. But it's episode 5. Nancy and Sid. Episode 6 is, I think, the end. There ain't got to be a season 2 because there ain't no season 2. But I've enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it with me. Like, comment, push subscribe. And I'll catch you for the finale.